Hey, seen a queen pray for a snow-skinned, fire-lipped, dark-haired baby. Unbelievable. Soon, the queen got her wish and gave birth to a beautiful and kind daughter named Snow White. Even if little birds were hurt, she'd rescue them like a little angel. Sadly, the queen died before teaching her to be a princess. And that wicked queen not only wanted to be a ruler, but also the prettiest in the world. What a surprise. She had a magical mirror and kept asking it who the fairest in the land was. The mirror spilled the tea, and she never expected that her reign would be challenged by a little girl. This little girl was not just any girl. She was the king's daughter, clever, kind, and stunningly beautiful. And she was named Snow White right at birth. Poor queen, after offing the king, she locked Snow White in a dark dungeon. Year after year, Snow White spent 10 whole years in that dungeon, oblivious to the sunlight outside. Meanwhile, the evil queen ruled over a kingdom plagued by war and suffering. Every day, she took milk baths like she was some sort of youth-obsessed diva. After every milk bath, she had asked the mirror who was the fairest of them all. This time, the magic mirror told her, "There's a girl who's grown up and her beauty now surpasses yours." The wicked queen was furious and immediately ordered her brother to go and dig out Snow White's heart. Little did she know, when her brother saw Snow White's beauty, he was enchanted as well. He simply couldn't help but start flirting with her. Snow White seized the opportunity and stabbed him with hidden nails, then made a run for it. But the guards and the pursuers surrounded the castle, making escape feel impossible. She discovered a waterway inside the castle and immediately dove in with a huge leap. She waded through the stinky sewers and finally found an exit, leading her to a vast ocean. To escape, she sealed her own heart with fishing line. Talk about extreme measures. Suddenly, 2 magpies flew by to bring her luck, turning into her personal guides. The princess closely followed. A handsome white horse waited like a dream. She jumped on it and galloped away, but the pursuers were hot on her heels. Soon she found herself in a creepy, dark forest where past troubles resurfaced. The white horse fell into a mud pit while trying to protect her, and her heart was sealed off. What a helpless predicament. With no choice, she abandoned the horse and ran into the dark forest. Desperate times call for desperate measures. Once she stepped inside, she found herself instantly entangled by the forest tree spirits. Her frail little body simply couldn't endure such a commotion, and she promptly fainted. The queen found out Snow White escaped into the dark forest and was furious, no way to control it. Since her magic was useless there, she sent her brother after the only guy who'd successfully escaped the dark forest. This is when the male lead, Riago, made his grand entrance, and the queen promised him a hefty reward. But Riago was troubled. He once led his wife into the dark forest, and she didn't return. How could he say no? However, the queen held a card over him, saying if he brought back the princess, she'd resurrect his wife. Riago was torn, but decided to take the plunge and agreed to the queen's request. With his courage and experience, he quickly discovered Snow White's trail in the forest. Eventually, he found her hiding beneath a massive tree. What luck! The queen then made her grand and arrogant entrance, demanding the girl. But Riago demanded they resurrect his wife first, so bold. To his surprise, the other said it was just the queen's trick. Who knows if the dead can return? Enraged by being teased in such a manner, Riago picked up an axe and swung it fiercely towards his opponent. His strength was a match, and soon he knocked out all the soldiers. What a sight! He then led the princess deeper into the forest, only to encounter a terrifying monster on the way. The monster, having gone without food for days, naturally couldn't let such a feast go. With just one powerful swipe of the monster's paw, the 1,000-year-old ancient tree was knocked askew in all directions, truly terrifying. Realizing escape was impossible, Riego bravely opted to fight the monster. However, when facing the raging monster, he appeared incredibly vulnerable and seemed utterly powerless. The monster easily swatted him aside, knocking him out, no surprise there. Just when the monster was about to swallow him, the princess screamed, "What a nail-biter!" Miraculously, the monster was suddenly controlled by a mysterious force. The energy within the princess dissolved its evil. When their eyes locked with each other, the monster surprisingly bowed its head in submission. What an astonishing sight. Finally, they escaped the dark forest. But don't forget to subscribe, there are more magical stories waiting for you.